Hi, Jim here, and you're listening to the Honest Filmmaker podcast, career advice from people in the business. This week, I spoke to presenter and actor Aryana Neo. Now, this was a good chat because Aryana is an accomplished radio presenter. So, if you're interested in a career in broadcasting, this is a great one for you to learn some tricks of the trade, how she set herself up, some of the experiences she's had. Also, she's a very confident person. So, it's a great one if you're interested in learning more about how to network and also how to approach people and find those job opportunities. Enjoy. So, first question I want to ask you is I understand you studied law. How have you ended up working in entertainment?
Wow. Okay. Well, I still actually work in law. I work
Okay.
as a part qualified trademark attorney. And if I'm honest, I love it, but also I just like the money. So, as you all know, in creative industries, as we all know, it's difficult. You're creating things all the time. Work is ad hoc, and I work in free as a freelancer. So, yeah, that's why I work in law. Did criminology degree, and then I still work in law because when it was COVID, I kind of felt like I had to go dip back in. And I kind of self-qualified myself, put myself through all the first initial exams. And yeah, that's why I still work in law.
Okay. No, that's
I
cool.
mean, yeah.
And so radio presenting, how did you get into that?
So I got into that through community radio when I was, I'm going to say 18, 19, quite young, but it's obviously still young, so it's not very long ago. Um, and I've been part of them for a long, long time. And everyone says to me, "Why are you still part of that community station, even though I work for BBC?" Global brands and things like that. And I think it's like a family. And, I trained there. I did my MVQ in broadcasting and things like that. That's how we started, and you get your initial experience.
Mm.
And I've stayed there ever since. But banging on the doors of all the drums that I have, finally got into BBC in 2017, 18 as a journalism coordinator. And that's kind of where it's gone from there.
Right. Okay. And my when I think of being a radio host, this isn't like being a radio host, but I would immediately panic and not have anything to say and run out of chit chat. How do you get past that? Where's that come from?
Well, if you're doing an actual show, majority of it is scripted. You have a little timer and you've got little segments and you might have interviews. If you're interviewing and it's, off the cuff and you don't want to have preset questions and things like that, you just have to do your research. I think just always research. If I'm doing, on location things where you don't know who you're going to speak to, you just kind of get a broad like assignment or research of like the industry or whatever it is, and then you just have to go with it and just hope it goes well.
Yeah.
And experience, it does all come with experience.
Comes with experience. And is there a difference in the way that you chat to your friends? And is there a different version of Ariana on the radio or performing?
I would say yes to a certain extent. Obviously, I'm more filtered. I mean, I'm not going to be as rude as I normally am,
Yeah.
or you have to be a bit more watch what you're saying and things like that. And obviously, you've
Mm.
got processes. Ariana with her friends is very like party animal, like larger than life, always laughing. So sometimes you do have to kind of rein that in, especially if it's a serious topic, get all the questions done. And yeah, you just got to feel what's going on and, sense the tone.
There's the tone. And so you've done your research, but if going back to the beginning, if I wanted to become a radio presenter now, obviously I could join a community radio or like a hospital
Yeah.
radio, something like that. Is there anything
Yeah.
else I can do? Should I practice at home? How should I kind of
Yeah.
learn those skills?
100% practice at home. Make tapes of yourself, make demos for yourself, listen to other shows, or listen to a presenter that you really want to be like, or that you think you can be better than, or whatever it is. Take little bits of, nuggets of information, see how they flow into a song, see what every station is different as well. So if it's like a BBC station, they'll have set jingles compared to, say, Heart and Capital, which will have their own processes. So make sure you tailor every demo and everything to that. It's definitely practice.
Mm.
Get podcasting, get YouTubing, get out in the streets and do boxes. You've got to really push yourself out your comfort zone.
Yes.
And talk to as many people as you can. Networking is huge. And yeah, just definitely community and hospital radio and things like that. You need the experience to show any other brands. Yes, if you're a celeb or something, they do just overtake, but
Mm.
that's just the industry.
Mm.
So yeah, if you're an amateur, then you just got to get practicing.
I'll get practice in. And you mentioned networking there because that's sort of a big part of the industry. And I assume you're a good person at that because I've seen you on a film set and boom, day one, everybody knows who you are.
Is
So
that a good thing?
yeah, no, it's a good thing. So what tips have you got for networking?
Again, you've just got to put yourself out there. You really have to be out of your comfort zone. I find it very easy to just walk into a room not knowing anyone and I'll just go and speak to someone because I
Mm,
know everyone else is uncomfortable. So I'm that person that kind of just goes and speaks to everyone. But it does again come with practice. I used to work for a bank and the whole premise of it was business development and networking and going across the south of England and talking to people you didn't know. So I think again that's kind of practice in that sense. But you just have to do it because what's the worst that can happen?
yeah, very true. And have you got a standard opener or not? Have you got something you go to?
Oh God, I'm not like one of those business people, no.
No, but
But
I wonder if because like when we're in Cannes at the film festival, you can always go, "How's your festival going?" And that's kind of like your little
yeah,
in without going, "Excuse me, I am." So have you got something
yeah.
how do you or do have you got like an
You
intro?
know what? It's very easy just to be like, oh hi, my name's Ariana, what's yours?
Wow, why haven't I tried that?
How long have you been in the industry for? Make sure you say Jim.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the industry for? Or if you like someone's outfit, or you just
Mm.
recognizing, or there's something funny's happened and you want to mention it. It really is just a normal conversation. I think people find it really unusual, but like to just you're just talking to somebody that you would in the street. I just don't. Maybe it's just alien to me to not understand how you can't speak to somebody new.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it can be intimidating, and I think if
Yeah.
you're someone who's used to being behind the camera,
Mhm.
it is intimidating, and you kind of need to develop, like you say, that ability to just put yourself out there, not panic. No one's gonna tell you to bugger off. Do you know what I mean? Most people have a conversation with you, and most people are sort of in those places to network anyway. So it's a good opportunity.
Yes, exactly. And if they do want to tell you to bugger off, then just sense the tone. If they're rude,
Mm,
just turn around, speak to somebody else.
yeah. So going back to the radio stuff, what's the and you said you did a qualification in that.
Yeah.
How important is the technical side to you? To learning, like, are all the buttons the same when you go into a radio studio, or do you have to kind of sit down and
Um,
get taught them every time?
Depending on the brand, so BBC, yes, they are similar across the board.
Mm,
Global, I assume so, but I've only really done one location for them. So I think learning the technical is always really good. And I think when I was a producer for the Early Late Show on BBC Solent, what I found really, really useful was you know how it works. So then when you have your own show, you know what needs to be done. If you need to quickly edit whilst you're on air, it can happen. You can quickly do it, and you know how to fix things. And if there is a big crash of the system, I just think it's better to be a well-rounded person. You can present, you can produce, you can create. You're kind of more in demand, and you make yourself, they used to say like a triple threat when it's like dancing, singing, and acting. But
mm,
like if you're like a presenter producer and you can also write scripts and you can also sort out all the buttons, as you say, I think it just makes you more attractive to companies or to brands to use, and they know that they can rely on you.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So the other thing you do is presenting, and I've seen you in front of thousands of people, Christmas openings, corporate events, all that malarkey. Did that just kind of evolve out of the radio, or is that something you pursued?
Bit of both, I think. I think having the radios helped, but again, it's always just been me banging on the door, like asking people, "Can I do this? Can I do this?" Sending demos, sending videos. It's constant. I still do it now. Like it's relentless, to be honest. And you have those moments where you think, "What am I doing with my life? Like, why am I doing this?" But yeah, it just happens. And I happen to work for the bid in Southampton, and then because they know I host, they said, "Would you like to host the Christmas market?" And I thought, wow, the light switch on. I thought that would be amazing to do. Very nervous at the time, but it was really, really fun. And again, you just got to put yourself out there. And I think if people don't know you want to do it, and that you also don't have copies of your work or examples of your work, then you're not going to get the job, are you? So you literally just have to put yourself out there. If that's what you want to do, you need to be confident about it. You can't be all timid and shy. So it does come with practice. Yeah.
Yeah. And any tips for dealing with an enormous crowd of people?
You got to work out the crowd, I think, when you first get there, because sometimes they can be a bit jeery or like they want to heckle. So
Yeah.
that's quite fun. But so you can't be like a super serious presenter or tell them off. You've got to just work with them and be louder than them, just make it fun, be entertaining and be engaging, I think is a big thing as well. And don't I always find people that are on stage, if they're just longing out the conversation, I get bored, let alone
Mm.
if the audience are there standing in the cold watching you. I think you've just got to make it short, snappy, and just engaging. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And just looking at in the background, so do you have an agent or do you do all that stuff yourself?
I actually do all this stuff myself. I
Yeah.
do have various agents.
Mm.
I don't want to say anything bad. Have they got me any work? No.
Yeah.
Have they got me self tapes and demos and things like that? Yes. I do a lot of that stuff anyway. So I've got an acting agent, I've got a speaking agent. So like if I was going to speak at a conference, and then I have like a hostingy, celebby kind of TV agent.
Mm.
Again, I haven't had anything from them so far. I think it's quite nice to be on someone's book, so they are pushing you out. Are they useful? Maybe. I don't know. I'm yet to find out. But yeah,
Mm.
I do think they can be useful. But at the moment, it's me. I drive everything. I contact people. So I think you've got to be your own agent, to be honest.
Mm.
And then you can rely on yourself.
Yes. And your tools for getting yourself out there. So we're talking website, show
Yeah.
reel, headshots. Is there anything else I'm missing from that list?
I do think you need to be present on all social media platforms.
Mhm.
I really was reluctant to join TikTok, but I've done it. And I do put things on there. I do put videos on YouTube, and I get people seeing more of the shorts and things on YouTube than I would have thought I did. If you think your work is pants, just post it anyway,
Mm.
because it will end up filtering through the feed and no one will see it as long as it's not really rubbish. You just have to go for it. Like even with this acting thing, I'm so nervous. But someone said to me, it's done now. You can't do anything about it. And I was like, yeah, that's true.
That's
So then
lovely,
you just
actually. It's done now. It's all done.
yeah,
So
Ray actually said that to me. Ray said it's done now, so you just got to enjoy it. I was like,
just got
okay.
to enjoy
Yeah.
it. So then, yeah, so moving on to that. So you're moving into acting, and I hear you're going to be in this amazing horror film that's coming out soon, he says. Why? Why are you going into acting? What's pushed you into
Oh,
that?
do you know what? I always wanted to do it, but I was never the drama student. I was never the one that liked doing it. But I always watched actors and thought, do you know what? I think I could do that. So, very lovely director gave me this opportunity. So it was a really, really good experience. I had the best time, learned so much from really like established actors. And now I'm doing actual acting classes to kind of make sure I know what I'm doing and learning. So, yes, I'm excited, but I'm very nervous.
Very nervous. Yes, first project is always the toughest one. I guess I keep circling back to this, but it's about confidence, and it's
Mhm.
about because one of the things I find when I'm talking to students is technical side, really, really good skills. Obviously, they've learned the equipment inside out, but it's that confidence to put yourself forward and to network and to talk to people and kind of make them know you're available. Is there anything people can do to get that confidence, build that confidence up?
If it's say through emails and stuff and trying to contact people that way, I would say to make it easier for you, make a template, have all your links already preset, have like some videos, have some material, because I already have that just
Mm.
because it's easier and it's quicker. So when people ask you for all your links, it's there, you can send it. Obviously, tailor every email because that would be ridiculous if you didn't. But if it's in person, you do just need to network more, speak to more people. Just if you put yourself out there, you'll see how many other people who are even taking the class or doing the presentation, how nervous they actually are. And actually everyone starts from somewhere. um and sometimes it is life experience. If you're a little bit older, maybe you've dealt with more things in your life, you might be a bit more confident
Mm.
with like pushbacks and rebuttals and things like that, whereas some people could just be shy and timid in themselves. So you can't change your personality.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say if you're not a confident person, then you can't do it. You just have to work on yourself, whether it's do some meditation, do some whatever you need to do to get into a zone. If it's acting, act the part, like act confident. That's what someone said to me, just act confident. I was like, oh yeah, you could just do that. So yeah, I think if you're more of a technical person and you want to get on the front side of the camera, talk to more people that are on that side, start looking at it from a different perspective instead of just obviously being on, the behind the scenes,
Mm.
look on the other way and think, how can you not like copy them, but because obviously everyone's got their own style, but you've got to emulate a little bit of what they're doing. What is it that they're doing? Are they frantically reading and then suddenly they come different on the camera, or are they just naturally good on the camera? Some people are very different,
Mm.
and they do switch it on, which I don't know, some people do, which is interesting, but I can't really switch it on into a different character. I can switch on and be professional. But yeah, so I don't know if I've really answered that question.
So we talked about you do your hospital radio, you do your community radio stuff, you get your show reel together.
Mhm.
And if you're looking to then work with a big company like BBC, what do you do? Are you cold calling them, or are you trying to make a contact to sort of find your way in there?
I think there's no point cold calling them. I don't really think that works. I don't know how you would do that really anymore. Apply on the BBC website. They always have jobs. It's ridiculous. So even if they say once you get in, you can move around. Yes, you can, but it depends on what part you're in. So
Mm.
for example, BBC Solent, there are different departments within there. So you probably can move around because they're quite joined up together. If it's something in network, so I work for BBC Asian Network and One Extra, it's all on the same floor, but then I don't do much with Radio 1, even though I'm on the freelance books. You could move to a different department, but again, you're going to have to apply within. You'll get the internal emails to tell you jobs have come up, so that's quite a good idea. And if I want a job, I would normally contact the person they say on the email. I'll try and have a coffee with them. That's always quite a good idea. See if you even have that experience. Again, that comes with being confident enough to go and do that, and it's the hunger. I think the hunger will drive you to get you to where you want to be, because even if you embarrass yourself, you don't care, because you're like, well, I need to do it. So
Yeah, yeah, and it's all a
yeah,
learning experience, isn't it? Even the times when
yeah.
you fail, you learn something from it. I'm just moving on to my bun questions. He says, so do you have a do you have a motto?
I have a couple. I think try everything once, take that as you will, but try everything once, because you just need to, and you have to put yourself out your comfort zone. That's something I've literally lived by from when I was in college, maybe. I think I was a very different person. I had a lot of adversity and a lot of stuff I had to deal with personally to get
Mm.
through places. I still have challenges now to this day, being a woman of color, being a female. There's so many things that, they don't want you. I have a voice which isn't good for Capital, is what I know. For news, it's great, but not
All
for
right.
on air as a fun presenter, because I sound too posh, apparently. I
Oh,
didn't know that.
interesting.
Yeah, yes, it's true. I do have a posh voice. But I wouldn't have thought that until somebody had told me that. So,
Mm.
and then the more people you speak to, the more people you approach. And actually, if you want an agent, you can just contact them. I remember
Mm.
contacting people just for the sake of it. They either say yes or they send your work. Um, I was quite lucky, as there's a lady who used to work on A Place in the Sun, or a long time ago. She does a lot of camera work. She also then made her own kind of agency, and I was almost like a bit of a guinea pig for her. So she was like, you need a website, you need this, you need all these things. And she would look through my work. So in a way, like a mentor, was quite useful. And that was only in lockdown. So, and
Mm.
she kind of helped me a lot. So I think if you do see someone that you want to be with, or that can help you, maybe you can see how they can mentor you even.
Yes, good advice. Who is your TV or radio presenter idol? Who do you really admire? Who do you aspire to be like?
Oh, it changes. So I have different people. So I love AJ Adudu at the moment. I love everything she's doing, and I can see how much she's coming through the ranks. I love her. I like some mainstream presenters, because I just like the work that they're doing. Whether I like them as a presenter is different. Like I love
Mm.
Alison Hammond just because she is a laugh.
Yeah.
And I love the show that she works on. But yeah, Davina McCall used to be a big one when I was younger, watching the Big Brother shows and stuff. I think it just changes. Mine changes a lot, because sometimes they might do a show you think, oh, why have they done that? um, but yeah, mine varies. Mine varies.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you want more advice from industry professionals who are out there at the moment working, or you just want to listen to some cool stories from film sets from around the world, then please do subscribe.